flash in. Oh, the timing on the shot back, though. That was actually quite nicely done. Again, you saw just purely off of spawn base, it looks like Nico took the AWP, ran with it, and Pasha timed it well to get a shot right back through.
I think he just took a blind shot. He's like, all right, I'm flashed, let's go for it. It's just fortunate that Nico peeks into it. Yeah, VP, even the round they just lost, they start the round out really, really well. It's the retake that kind of had issues. No trading there, but you can see one player boosted up. Byali, again, seems to be the anchor of this A bomb site. No one out quite yet. Pasha's got to be careful, and he overextends. Didn't even consider it a possibility, which is crazy because we see that quite frequently.
Yeah. All recovered to Neo. Nico a little low on 17 HP, but there's no respite on this map, is there? Snax has found Olofmeister in the meantime, but let's keep our eye on where the end goal here is for FaZe. It is looking like it's going to be that A hit. You do have Neo playing out of kind of quad side MBK corner, and we still have Byali on boost.
It's tough for Byali, though, because he has to be mindful of mid since they don't have control, and that's a position that gets cleared from Highway, and it's actually tough to win that battle as CT, so he's a little worried. Fortunately, they're rotating away from the A-bomb site. Yeah, going back towards B.
Yeah, let's see if they can make the stick. There's still 2 players there. Virtus.pro haven't let go of this. Snax playing up top. You got one tucked towards side being Taz. No utility, though. No flashes, nothing to really hinder it. It's all down to them just to find it. Sees the feet. That's enough. Time to fall back. Snax readjusts, falls away from the angle for a second. Might have a little look again, but timing is everything. They're already on the site. It's down to Taz now, but the smoke's going to really hinder what he can see, but great timing on this. He could maybe find 2 out of it. He does. A third. Oh, brilliant stuff from Taz, and now it's the 1v1. Just Guardian on the side, and he's going to have support on the way pretty soon as well. Here it comes. The rest of the Virtus.pro boys all over it. Not a chance here for Guardian. Time runs out, and killed after it too.
That's smart. I think Virtus.pro actually called that out, is wait till after the time, so they just paused on hunting him down. They knew he was on the bomb site. Great job from them. That is economic disaster for Guardian, but regardless, he still has money built up, so he's going to be able to buy. He has the AWP now. The world is watching. Yes, it is. And here's Taz coming over the top, and obviously, nice cleanup there at the end.
Yeah, just good timing on the smoke, I guess, right? He's just biding his time pretty nicely. Double AWPs back out to play. Snax and Pasha towards that Guardian being gifted 1-2, so we might see a bit more from this. But FaZe falling back to what we saw at the start, that very quick round that worked very well for Olofmeister. We're going to see the run boost towards the... Oh, that's unfortunate. But Pasha, yeah, but the thing is, if you look at it this way, Olofmeister last time got 3 kills on this strat run. So again, a little bit different this time. Nico giving himself enough room to work. A deeper smoke towards Highway. I'm pretty sure that's once Karrigan's, and they're already out by sight.
Oh, he's got a crazy position. I don't think Virtus.pro's expecting this, and if he hasn't peeked out wide, that'd be a free kill. Oh, they find him now. He gets traded. Almost brilliance from Nico, but regardless, he's opened things up. Pasha has to do more. Molotov's going to force him out. He's going to drop a smoke, still into a 3-on-3. He somehow gets away unscathed and returns the favor onto Guardian.
Both players remaining for Virtus.pro currently sit on all. Smoked up. Pasha, he can't see anything. He just had to make a guess. Molly towards site, trying to play the time a little bit here. Going to force Karrigan away. Smoke goes in. Plant comes out. The last 2 players for FaZe, they're still pretty damaged here. That nade could have done a little more. Does touch Karrigan and just down a little, but Snax would have to dig deep to pull this one out. Both crossing back towards main. He's taking a gamble on this. He's going for it, and limited vision, limited chances, and there it is. One shot is all he pretty much had at that. You miss it, it's open, it's theirs. But again, FaZe falling back to something that works very well for them here.
Yeah, see, even like losing the opening fight, right? Pasha gets that pick with the AWP. That's exactly what it's designed, saying if you're just going to walk out into the open, I'll pick you off. And he gets it, covers his teammate who failed the run boost. But from there, I mean, Nico's position just throws everything in the works. I mean, Virtus.pro wasn't prepared to rotate and to adjust for that positioning. That's a quite nice way for him to lurk out and just get that 1 kill. 4-4 now. FaZe resetting the economy, and that's the disaster for the CT side.
See Snax chomping at the bit here, wanting a bit of that AWP. Knowing Guardian's not back from this yet, might be able to hear that scope going in and out, but it's still quite far actually, probably not able to notice that one. And we've only seen a couple of upgraded pistols, nothing too much to write home about.
No, a little bit of armor on Snax. We'll see what he's able to do, but this A bomb site has been the position where FaZe has got most of their rounds. That's a failed Molotov.
Where did that even clip from? That looked like it was fine, but, you know, CSGO. Neo, not going to have much fun there, already getting spun out by Forklift. Byali fancies maybe walking back into it, but just trying to find a place. Yeah, he's like, nah, you know what, I'll leave it. CZ's like going back into fashion, it seems, at the moment. Snax going to use his pretty well. That's nice from Pasha, but we're down to a 2v3. Snax does get himself an AK, but if anything, that's probably going to be used into the next couple of rounds rather than this one.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see if he went for some kind of a duel, maybe gets a lucky shot, or maybe just pick someone off out in the open, but saving it moving forward, so playing the economy game, can't fault him for that. Virtus.pro is going to, like, these double ops set up and the reliance on the AWP has been fine. They've had some success with it. They've gotten some kills. They've done some damage. You had Pasha legging Nico that one round. You've had him opening up with a pick towards the A bomb site. It's when the retakes come in that Virtus.pro haven't been able to make those ops work, which is kind of tough. Rain one time holding it off. But that's what they're going to have to adjust, because they've actually started out these rounds on the defense pretty well, all things considered. They just kind of drop the ball, you know, when it's the retakes, the post plants. Yeah,
and, you know, I don't think we're too surprised seeing that when it gets to the out-response bit individual, you're going to see FaZe kind of swinging a little bit towards their favor. And
yeah,
at the moment, Rain's being brilliant. Absolutely love seeing that. Again, a name
no
that,
surprises.
No, he is the guy that always just seems to get enough done.
Yeah.
May not be the superstar, may not be, you know, the frag movies constantly, but my god, is it good to watch. But FaZe seem quite convincing in the rounds they win, though. I like their approach so far. We've seen that quick mid-take they like to do with the flash, kind of setting up whoever has the spawn for it. Wonder if we're going to see Carrigan setting that one up for Guardian or whoever else didn't have the spawn, so no. And we've seen the A-take. That's very, very nice again, but this is something a little bit different. Maybe a bit more pressure here. Off, backing away from B, not going for it straight away. Just going to take out the windows, allow maybe a little bit of work, and actually doesn't do that either.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he missed that spray just a little bit. Wishful thinking. Regardless, some mid-presence out of Virtus.pro. Heavy mid-presence, actually. You've got Neo underneath the boost. You've got Snacks. I believe he's right on the edge of the vents. And then you have Pasha over at Sandbag. So looking for a delayed mid-take out of FaZe. Could be a little deadly, but I mean, these, even with 3 players here, these can be tough to hold. There's so many different variations of smokes and flashbangs that the Terrasides can use to get out into mid and get that control. And if you misjudge it, you just lose everything.
Another smoke towards middle put through. Maybe slow down FaZe for a second.
Look at how much utility FaZe still has. They haven't used anything, and if you contrast that to Virtus.pro, who have used things to block off these choke points, I mean, there's a massive advantage, obviously, for when these executes come out. And this is the tough part about holding mid, your counter utility to block some of these flashbangs.
There goes smoke. Molly to follow. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. Let's see if Virtus.pro can actually hold this. They're going to send Olafmeister in first. Flashed up, first man down will be Neo. Pasha fell as well, and that's mid-open. There was one more man a little bit close by, but they had already fallen off. It doesn't matter. Yeah. At this point, that's just FaZe. Very well-rounded, very nicely constructed round that just completely smashed VP.
It's like a horror movie. Like, you could just see it coming with all the utility, and then all of a sudden, the utility on like 3 FaZe players just disappears. And like, Neo's completely blind on a boost. His teammate's gotten taken out at sandbags instantly, so he's got no one to cover above. He's also got to cover main. Too many positions if just one player falls. And that's the real crux of this map, is how do you defend mid as the CT team, because there's no good answer to it. If you play it passively and you just give it up, you're eventually going to get beat if you give teams of this caliber mid control every single round. If you play it the way Virtus.pro just did, aggressively 3 players, you can get blocked out, and that doesn't even work all the time. So, I mean, how you control mid is how you win and lose on the CT side of this map, and that's where we see CT side struggle, because no one has a good answer at the moment.
Swings and roundabouts. The map does tend to eventually kind of come back around to being worked out a little bit, but as you said, right now it does sit towards that sort of aspect, especially in these sort of situations between these 2 teams. Don't often get to see Cash, but the stylistically approaches against each other.
It hasn't been very popular in recent
as of late.
times.
No, it's kind of fallen off a little.
I quite enjoy this map.
You're North American, no one's surprised. The North American enjoys Cash, and yeah, I mean, Rain is also
that's
wet.
always the fun concept, right? Where it's like, it's a North American map.
Yep.
But not because they win on it, just because they like to play it.
So what map would they like this?
I don't know.
Is there any winners out there? Well, actually, we'll find out soon.
We will. We got Liquid in this group. They've been looking pretty solid recently.
Yeah, we've got some Cloud9 going on as well. Some contenders out there. We'll keep eyes towards what they can do. Rain, though, already got himself out to the site. Should be dealing with this quite well. Snacks will claim 1, but, you know, 1's not the end of the world at this point. FaZe sitting rather pretty. Bombs to be planted. And there it is. Pasha left reeling off the back of it, but is this what we kind of expected so far? Just to kind of summarize what we've seen. It's not been bad from VP.
No, it hasn't. And it's going to start looking worse just because they keep getting their economy reset. If they can't start stringing rounds together, this half could get out of control. But at the moment, I mean, this is still okay for Virtus.pro. I think they just took a tactical pause to talk things over, or not. I see the clock still going down, so perhaps not. But yeah, this so far for them is going to be fine. It's when they switch over to the T side that you really want to see things. I more like what we're seeing out of FaZe, obviously with the 7-4 lead. But it is quite cool. They're using, you know, guys like Nico, guys like Olafmeister are having space to make the plays that they want to open up bomb sites, to just find their 1 or 2 kills. Guardian's quite nice. He's not in like takeover mode. I don't know if that's because it's Cash. We mentioned he might still be a little uncomfortable on this. But either way, he's finding the gaps that his teammates are providing to just, you know, provide provide cover with that off to stop rotations, to just hold an angle and say you're not gonna get past this angle.
Yeah. And yeah.
This is, I mean, if you want to just talk textbook style, this is from FaZe. I mean, Kerrigan at 1 kill, Rain at 14, Olaf at 9. Like, that's exactly how it's designed to be at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all going to plan. Good start for FaZe as well. Probably looking for a little bit more after their Malmo performance wasn't, phenomenal from them. Again, it's a growing process. I think that everyone's very well aware of FaZe.
Even the players.
Yeah, which is good. It's not too much pressure on themselves yet to be expecting instant victories. We saw what happened with FaZe when they first came together. They had that, but you want longevity. You want to really pull that lineup to full potential. But again, rinse, repeat. If it works, why not keep doing it? FaZe going through the motions towards the middle again. Olaf Meister there, Rain there. Taz this time might be the one to try and make a bit of a difference. And they hold. Pasha and Snacks take down the 2 FaZe members. It's the first time we've seen them win out cleanly in mid. This is a big difference. Let's see how FaZe respond, though. B's looking quite vulnerable. Maybe they're going to fancy their odds there. Molly towards upper, but Snacks goes right in. Perfect flash as well. Catching 2. That's the B hit denied. Virtus.pro, that timeout, whatever you just did, do more of it.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Really nice stuff from Virtus.pro. And this time, instead of trying to hold mid completely, they wait for the utility, they wait for the flashbangs to go off, and they have delayed peaks. And that all rings true as FaZe is trying to clear the corners in mid. That's quite nice out of VP, and then obviously Snacks coming through. Unfortunate that the leg comes out. If that's a kill, perhaps there's a chance for FaZe, but regardless, all 5 survive again for VP. They get to build up some money, they get to have some bank so that they can afford to lose some weapons in this round and still buy. But they've got to string these together.
There we go. I'm liking this. I want a good game between these two.
Yeah, and here's some diversity you're seeing. I mean, the double nade stack just in case the boost is coming in a little delayed. Pretty standard, but it's just good to see Virtus.pro still being active on the map.
Yes, and I love diversity in esports.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that.
It's the only reason I'm here. Double AWP still with VP. And I hope they keep this up. That'd be very, very fun. I feel as though once FaZe get to that CT side as well, it's not like the breaks suddenly come into place. They're still just as good. So
it does worry you though, right? Because we've seen these double ops as, if FaZe gets into a bomb site, all of a sudden VP hasn't been able to make it work. So you've got to stop them before they get there. And I'm glad to see they moved around. Pasha for a time was at forklift for that off, and they're going for a delayed peek in towards main, get the information, get the control. I believe it's Nico who's over in door. He should be able to call that one out. Here's the footsteps, here's the pop flash. Knows A main is taken over, so FaZe's response is to try and go mid, but Pasha's going to win that battle with the off.
Oh, this is quite enjoyable so far. Let's continue to see how they hold on. Finally, FaZe do get control in mid. Rain there did catch a glimpse of, I'm pretty sure, Pasha backing away. Call gets made. Guardian strikes. Down to the 4v4, and the A pressure starts to build. There's still BRly towards A main, and Kerrigan's taking him away. That's good, but Neo might just be better. We'll see if Nico can deliver, though. He's made it through door. He's looking to try and tip the scales, and he has. That's maybe a route towards A open. Flash comes in, but his teammate falls. It's just him now. It's just Nico in a 1v2. He does have the bomb. No utility. Nothing to really play with. Takes the fight on the first. He wins it. Time is ticking, though. It's dwindling. Bomb will be planted, and Taz can't stop this. Molly goes in, but it's late. And now Nico is loose, and that's one thing you do not want to see. Nico, what an animal. Brilliant work from him towards the last. Taz just got outdone. Oh,
Taz is going to be upset because Nico does the, the unexpected. He goes back to fight in the fire, take a little bit of damage there, and you probably just burn alive, but the one tap right onto Taz. And this is where, I mentioned, this is where Virtus.pro struggling, is these retakes, is these post plants. It's Neo and Taz in a 2-on-1, and Neo peeks and Taz isn't with him. There's no chance for the trade there. Now, obviously, that's also a position where you can line up pretty easily, but that's a number of times now retaking the A bomb site where we've seen these players, Rain had it earlier, able to find 1v1s in disadvantaged scenarios, and that just can't happen. Olaf is going to lead the way over towards the B bomb site. They've got a lot of presence here, and unfortunately, I think Snacks is going to have to fight this if Taz gets into a tough spot. That's the teamwork they want. Going for the reverse boost, perhaps.
Oh, but look at Nico's position. They bait a bit by B, and they sit right on back here, watching for that boost. And once Pasha peeks up and over, there goes your head. That's so well done by FaZe. They put out the bait, and they know exactly when Virtus.pro want to try and have a little taste of it, and now down to 2. This is FaZe showing absolute clinical dominance. It's as soon as you see a little bit of light, little ray of hope for VP, they just claim it right on back.
I think Rain still knows that Neo's here because they did the boost. Actually, maybe not. Well, Rain does. Whoever just jumped across didn't. I believe that was Guardian. But Taz is all alone here, and he's going to get systematically eliminated. And that was FaZe, it felt, actually playing like a CT side, just sitting back, waiting for the pushes, and Virtus.pro walked right into every single trap that FaZe had set up. And now they've got nothing. It's going to be armor, it's going to be upgraded pistols, some utility, a little bit of nades, but it's not looking hopeful in this round for VP. I'd love to get up towards 6. It's just going to be tough. And FaZe, Guardian's going to go for that pick towards mid. Look at this push towards B bomb set as well. That's Snacks leading the way with the CZ. Kerrigan, oh, that's a nice shot. As he tries to return into the smoke and disappear, it doesn't happen, and Guardian's already got mid control.
Yep, Molly going in. Pushing anyone out from below if they were there. Taz! You can't go back in for seconds. Cleanly done so far, and I feel as though I'm saying that a lot these days here.
It has been just like a quiet, just solid half, right?
Yeah,
there hasn't been anything
solid.
necessarily spectacular. Maybe the rain performance in that one round holding off the retake, but all things told, I mean, that's just clinical.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it so far. I think there's still plenty of opportunity for Virtus.pro to bring us a game. We've got to see what that T side holds for them, because so far it's FaZe leading the way. Not too surprising to most. The veto certainly caught a lot of our attention. We'll be back in a second after the break. Well, FaZe have been putting up a very nice performance so far. Virtus.pro certainly didn't go down without a fight, but keep in mind with that scoreline, they did win that pistol and the two after the back, excuse me. So take what you will from this scoreline at present.
I mean, it's tough because at the moment it just feels like Virtus.pro were always just giving silver linings, right? Like they almost had a very good half, but
they almost held that. Yeah.
A couple clutches go their way, and that's a solid half for them. Regardless, this is the exciting part. Taz, oh, he's not aware. Nico just walks right in and eliminates him. The new, or I guess renew in-game leader for Virtus.pro. We'll see if he can manage this T side, but just great shots coming out from these USPs, using them perfectly. Olaf is a beast, and FaZe up 4-2 on the pistol round so quickly.
Yeah, it's not even that surprising. It's it's mad to see it being the case. So, bomb planted at least. That's still something. It might bring the Glocks to bear. Maybe give them a chance in this, but turning attention, Guardian finds the time to strike, and another one comes through for Rain. And exactly as you said, those USPs being put to that perfect bit of use.
Yeah, the range, right? That's exactly where you want them. And I mean, it's tough. Again, it's that individual skill. This is what we talk about with Cash. Nico just taking that peek. You saw Olaf Meister on the T side just walking out A main. This time it's Nico walking into A main and finding a very, very easy shot. So that's tough for VP to swallow, I'm sure. I mean, we talk a lot, you know, Taz, the new in-game leader, what kind of tactic is he going to pull out for VP on the pistol round, and you don't even get to see it come to fruition because it's just right off the bat taken out of their hands.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for them at any point, though, is it? Because they sit in that weird cusp. They don't quite have that firepower to sit into a team that can just depend on those crazy sort of aggression and playing kind of off the fly. And they don't quite have that defined, I guess, approach either. It's still somewhere in the middle. It seems like the teams these days are finding more polarizing approaches. But we will find out how they form as, you know, FaZe seem to be getting better at both. And now, Rain might be the one here on this. He's going to hear the run boost at least as well. Backs away from the angle. Brilliantly done again. He needs support from the back lines, and he has it. Guardian there. Lovely crossfire. Everything just kind of works. They were against only Glocks, but you can see every bit of implemented position for FaZe working well. Yeah,
it's perfect for them, and that just goes off the first half where it was just clinical. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. It's just very fundamentally sound, and that's basically how they're winning this match. Apparently, they can do it all. They've got the talent to break away from the fundamentals, but still sticking to them, and that's why you're seeing this margin just widen. 12-5, and we have an early bye for Virtus.pro. And actually, Guardian almost getting caught off guard, but he can call it out now. AKs are on the board. Nades, he's got to use a lot of utility just to get back. So does his teammate, but they keep him alive. And Virtus.pro almost able to get away with him, but they have no map control. They have no presence anywhere else. They've got 4 players over towards the B bomb site right off the bat. And look at the rotation from FaZe. They've got Nico pushing up an A main all on his own, and Bialy just misses the timing to spot that. There's basically 3 players at the B bomb site for FaZe. This is going to be dangerous for VP.
Yeah, Bialy's being just kept tied up over there as well.
And because I think Virtus.pro is choosing to fall back because they spotted out that aggression from Nico right at the end, so they're saying he knows we have no one towards the A bomb site. We are going to walk into a stack. And this is why you see VP slowly backing away. Although Snacks with the bomb still sticking around, so this might just be something where they, you know, decide to make a presence. They could turn it into a fake, but they're just trying to pull people away. I think Rain spotted Snacks.
Did he?
I'm not sure. The X-ray sometimes is tough to see if they actually did spot it out. Actually, no, he definitely didn't because all of his teammates are rotating away. So,
okay. Well, it could come down to that 1v1, and right now it's come down to Karrigan's aggression. Flashed in brilliantly, only Neo to stop him. But still, it's all about that B side. The last 2 players, Rain has the angle, and if you're Snacks or anyone else looking for that, you just don't expect him sat on the box, and the early warning system just rings now. Taz did win the fight, but you can see already players getting through towards vents. Taz, how much time does he have to work with here? What can he actually do in this? He might be able to get a safe plant. I don't think he knows exactly where from. And he's planting for vents, and yeah, whoa, no one was watching that, Taz. And now Neo might be able to get played in. That's good. Bomb now planted. Time ticks in their favor, but Guardian round the back going to claim 1, and it's just down to Taz.
This is going to be very, very difficult. As for that kill, he's at a headshot angle. He's actually struggling with it. Guardian creeping up. He's going to get taken out. Can Taz do it? The in-game leader, he goes for the peek, and he's not prepared for Nico, just slowly sliding out. That's very, very difficult for VP to handle. They almost make it work one more time, but it's going to be a 13th round. VP with that plant and the bonus money building. They could force a bye here if they wanted, but it's going to be tight.
Rain again, just being the downfall of so many situations. Just that 1 kill as well. Just buying a bit of time, allowing team to get around there, get to vents. And then, to be fair, Taz's plant for vents then, you know, gave me a bit of a heart attack for a second. You could tell instantly as soon as he did, it was like, no one's watching vents.
Well, also, I mean, the great play from FaZe comes over towards the A-bomb site, flashing Karrigan in at the right moment when utility starts coming out. We have an AUG on Guardian. You don't see that every day.
Look, if he doesn't like AWPing, he's found a new way, all right? No one likes it, but he's a believer.
We've seen these guns have some fun. There's been a couple games where the
Neo did it as well for a while. He was an advocate for it.
So did Rambo on Team 3D way back in the day. Whose AUG is this?
It's a classic.
It's a classic game. It's an oldie but a goodie. There's a scout kill, but still FaZe managing this so well. Only losing 1 player. Nico boosted up. He's got 3. And Neo with that missed shot is going to fall. 14th round, and VP running out of opportunities, but they've got plenty of cash and has to start now.
Yeah, there's so little room for error. That's the biggest thing, and you feel as though there's always that chance for FaZe to have an individual round. So even if you play the perfect game, someone like, I don't know, Olaf, Nico, pick anyone. Right now it's Rain, actually, as well. Nico having a good round here, of course.
That's the really funny thing about this team is, like, Rain has just been so good, and he's been so dominant even in this game where, I mean, obviously the names like Guardian, like Olaf Meister, guys who have been the best player, like Nico, these have all players who have been the best player in the world at any one time. There's some aggression in towards A main, and again, Nico is successful. That's Taz, again, much like the pistol round, and Bialy is going to be able to take advantage of Karrigan falling away, and now it's kind of collapsing for this FaZe team.
this has some real potential to it. Maybe some legs to this continuing, but they still need to get to the side. They still need to make it count in the long run here. As said, one player has a good round, it can all fall apart, and the one man you don't want to meet at the moment is Rain. Already going to find one, he's waiting. If he peeks back up, he could be in trouble, but no! He gets away scot-free! Rain again! You can't get a break if you're Virtus.pro. And FaZe make it to 15.
No, but it is like one of those games with Rain where you just feel like everything is going right for him. Like he can do no wrong in the sense that he turns that corner. The player who's watching or is lining up for a smoke, he's going to try and put it in the choke point, and it's just the perfect time for Rain to peek. So, just you know, one of those games. But yeah, this has gone from yes, there were some opportunities. Yes, there's some silver linings there for VP's performance to now just being a whitewash. Snax is going to fall early on here to Kerrigan. And actually, it's all FaZe. 3 kills quickly coming out, a 4th added in, and this round is already over. Virtus.pro have been able to do nothing on this T side. It's been aggression at all the right moments for FaZe, and they shut Virtus.pro down. A rough showing to start ESL One New York for the Polish side.
Virtus.pro, yeah, feeling the pressure. Let's put it that way. FaZe, I think we're all excited to see how deep their run will be this tournament. I think we're all seeing them in that little bit of a state of flux, but it's all about how far they're going to take this. So far, it seems that everything's in the right place for them. A good start for Virtus.pro, but it didn't really go too far after the back of that.